Good evening. Welcome to the In Between Honest Conversations in Real Time. My name is Lachey Young, and I have a special treat for you guys. Miss Ty Marilyn Monroe. If you are tuned in with Swag Her, you already know who she is, but to me, she is a very, very dear friend. And I'm going to let her introduce herself to those that may not know who she is.
I am Ty Marilyn Monroe. I'm one third of a podcast called Culture Club Conversations, but I'm also the sister of all sisters with Swag Her Sisterhood Spotlight. So thank you so much, my sister Lachey, for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I wouldn't have it no other way. Okay. At all. So tonight's topic, we are talking about gatekeeping. And this topic is something that me and Marilyn talk about often on
Yes.
sidebars because we met by not gatekeeping. That is how we were able to form what we have today. And
Yes.
that is why I am able to be on Swag Her as my own segment because my sister did not gatekeep. Okay.
That's
So what
right.
do you think about gatekeeping?
Well, gatekeeping is interesting because it's I feel like it's more of our culture's um, downfall.
Hmm.
So I feel like the definition for me is just summed up in a few words. It's a control person that's insecure. The insecure,
Hmm.
and it's just a short definition. It's to the
Right.
point. They're insecure and they control what they feel like they possess that can hinder you or just take it back from what you information or opportunity that maybe you need to know.
Hmm.
They just hold on to it, and I think that's an insecure person very much.
I do too, and so I went to chat. Even though we know what gatekeeping is, I went to chat, and it's pretty much exactly what you said. It's the controlling the access,
Hmm.
being limiting other people to opportunities,
Yes.
and let's see, where you get to choose because you have the authority over what this resource is that this person may be in need of, to say
Yeah.
if they're included, excluded, if they should be, what part of it they should get, and like we were talking backstage, a lot of it is in our culture, which is
Yeah.
really, really sad because you would think with everything that we've been through, well, us ourselves, and then
Yeah.
watching our parents and our grandparents and so on and hearing stories, we will be one culture that will push for whatever, even if you have to charge. Because I mean, if if this is what you do for life or you're living, then
Yes.
you can put a charge to it. But even that, people won't.
I know. It's unfortunate. So let me tell you a quick story of
Hmm.
how I even like gatekeeping that word itself. It really started. I started to understand exactly what it was. So
Yeah.
I had a coworker that wore this beautiful nude lipstick. She was probably about a shade darker than me, but the lipstick was really pretty. And I'm a nudie girl. I love
Hmm.
nudie lipstick.
Hmm.
I don't have it on tonight, but um, it was just beautiful. And so I asked her one day. I said, "Which shade? Like what brand and what shade is that lipstick?" And she said, "I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna let you know." I said, "Okay." And a week went by. And so I said to her, because she had it on again, and I said to her, I said, "What shade?" I said, "You never told me what shade." And she's like, I forget. I'll let you know. So I kind of started feeling like, are you not wanting me to wear that shade or get that shade of lipstick? It's not that serious. It's
It's
lipstick,
not.
right? And then another coworker told me she also kind of put her off on providing her with her braider, the information of her braider. So, I'm thinking it's so small to
It
share,
is.
I mean, I just thought it was so insane that she held on to not wanting to tell anyone who braided her hair in the shade of lipstick. So I knew, yes, this is a gatekeeper.
Hmm.
So yeah.
And it's crazy because something that's simple, when if you're wearing it, it's probably about four or five, maybe even a million other people with this
Yeah.
exact shade. So it's
Right.
not like it's your shade. My first
Exclusive,
time,
right.
right, right, right. Like they created it, it's theirs. It's not on the shelf, nothing. Um, my first time experiencing gatekeeping, I want to be an actress, right?
Mhm.
And someone they were doing celebrity makeup, and I just reached out and was like, hey, I just want to know, like, how did you get into this? Like, what was the steps? When I
Yeah.
tell you the message was read, no response. And I was like, I'm not asking for you to bring me aboard. I'm not asking to tag along. I am asking you to give me, like, what were your steps to get where you are so that
Yeah.
I can see where I can place them. What am I doing wrong? What am I missing? So that I can get where I'm trying to get. And I'm like, this is crazy because when I become a celebrity actress, you will not be doing my makeup.
Wow. And
Just
you
that
true to
simple.
that, right?
I, you will not be touching my skin because literally I just wanted to know how'd you get in this realm of people.
Yeah.
Um, and it's
Yeah.
just crazy. But then I've met people like I know someone that has an assisted living and she charges people for the information. I asked her one question. I was gonna go to um her open house for her new home and I got sick, so I couldn't
Mhm.
go. Do you know she called me on FaceTime to walk me through the house so I could see stuff and give me little pointers and everything because I could not make it, and I will forever remember because you ain't had to. Like, you know what I mean? You took out of your day and you
Yes.
had people coming to make sure I still got what I asked for, and you didn't have to.
I'm
That is the
glad
people.
you did that. I'm glad you
Yeah.
mentioned the charge part because there is, and this is something I discovered, there's a difference between a gatekeeper and a toll collector.
Hmm.
So a toll collector is like like you get your consultation, you get
Hmm.
your help for free.
Yeah.
Those people are more so entrepreneurs. They have
Right.
their own business. They typically would charge anybody else. And
Hmm.
sometimes we often drain those people for information. We'll call
Hmm.
them 15 times, ask them the same question 15 times. We waste their time when in fact
Absolutely.
that's what they do for a living.
Hmm.
So those are toll collectors, and rightfully so. Just like a real toll collector, they collect because that's their job.
Right.
That's something that provides them the income, and they're willing to provide the resources and information. But again, this is their career. This is what they do. So I think it's definitely a difference between like the toll collector and a gatekeeper, because the gatekeeper will hold the littlest thing back from you.
Yeah. The littlest.
But toll collector, that's their business. A lot of times they do provide those free, like Joy,
Hmm.
provide
Hmm.
those free conversations, help you even get on the right direction. But when it becomes a constant interference,
Hmm.
now we have to talk about payment.
Across. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
invoice you.
And do you feel like some of the people that gatekeep could have experienced people using them for the information and never, maybe not appreciating, not acknowledging, or yeah, just like burning them out so they don't want to help anyone else?
No,
You think
I,
they just
no,
okay?
no. For me, I think I talk too much. I'll tell anyone how to get anything that I know how because I'm proud of that, and I want someone else to really make it
Yeah,
bigger than the information I know and how to do it.
yeah.
I don't think the burnout of conversation of helping someone, because you never know who it'll click to and who
Hmm.
would actually make it bigger. So
Right.
I don't think for me, no.
And
I'll offer anything I can.
but I think I just think that's some people's nature in their
Yeah.
nature. Some people
Yeah.
are just stingy, and some
Yes.
people, like you said earlier, um, are afraid. Like they're scared that I give you this information, you're going to achieve more than me. So then I can't because what if you exceed on something I've been trying to do for
Wow.
10 years? I don't operate that way. I feel like it's enough. Now, at one point, I wouldn't do certain things because I
Yeah.
felt like certain markets were saturated, not because
Yeah.
I just felt like it was just going to be too much competition, right?
Yeah.
And I remember my wife telling me, "Well, it's a whole bunch of different breads out there, and everybody eat all of them. So what's the difference?" And when
That's
she
right.
said that, it clicked. Like, just keep doing everything you want to do. But I am big on wanting people to win because I want to win, and I feel like if I'm pushing you to win in the midst of it, I'm going to win as well.
That's
But I
right.
feel like that's just some people's nature to. I want you to. I want you to be great. I don't want you to.
Yeah,
I don't even want you to be in my circle and you're not doing anything. That's
that
craziness.
part.
What are you doing?
And all you're doing is planting the seed. You're not having to, water it, provide it. Some You plant the seed, you provide the information, the resource, the connection, and that's it. It's up to that person to. It's what they do with it. And I feel like, if in fact they make it bigger or they don't make it bigger, I mean, you did your part. You
Yeah.
did your part, and that's all that matters. I I feel like not just with our culture, but with our gender. A lot of women, and I know this may be a lot of us, we don't like to share. I mean, like I know men, they'll share everything down to the
Mhm.
gym socks.
Yeah.
They'll tell, oh yeah, these are Hanes. These are,
Yeah.
women, we just have a hard time. A lot of us, and I say us, have a hard time just, wanting to provide the basic information. That's why I felt it important to create sisterhood, the sisterhood segment, so that, we can get back to it being okay to communicate and to share.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say no judgment, no judgment, because really there's underlying judgment.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it gets us in a better space. It kind of
Yeah.
rekindles the relationship we should have.
Mhm.
So that's that whole gatekeeping and me wanting to create, the sisterhood segment and spotlight and celebrate women.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important to
Yeah.
me.
Because it takes you back to our grandparents and stuff. They wouldn't have made it with gatekeeping. Like, just imagine if they were gatekeeping the way people do now when our grandparents had to live through segregation and had
Yes,
to figure out how to maneuver and be safe in the streets. What? They
yes,
wouldn't have made it. We possibly wouldn't have been here because who would have been helping them to get the information they needed? Like, I was
that's
watching a movie the other day called The Green Book, and that was showing you how to maneuver through the society then, certain roads to take and things like this. That was the biggest, like, hit to do, not to do list that everybody could have. And it
yeah.
wasn't, oh, well, you couldn't get it because you're not from Alabama and it's only from Alabama. So, like, where did the gatekeeping start? That's my question. Like, where do you think, what generation did gatekeeping start where fear and insecurity overweighed everything we've ever been through in history?
Honestly, I think it has always been there.
Okay.
It's always been a person. It may not have been um so many as in our generation,
Mhm.
but I think it's always been there, even back to our ancestors, our grandparents, my great grandparents. I think someone has, it's not just, it just didn't start.
Right.
you know it's always been someone that has, withholded like information or resources just to save themselves, in their mind, like the embarrassment of if in fact you made it bigger, like you said. So I think it's always been a thing.
Yeah. And
I don't
I
think
mean,
it just started.
and it would be crazy because I don't know. Now it's gonna make me go in a rabbit hole because, of course, I'm gonna want to dig more. But it would be, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's anybody that I would want to see stuck, and I have the information to get you unstuck. Whether you take it or not is up to you.
That's
But
it.
to literally be like, I don't think you should get it because you wear red on Tuesday. Like what determines you being? What determines giving who what information? Do you have to be in your circle? Do you have to be friends? Do they have to be of a certain caliber when it comes to money? Like, what do you think is the limitations or the expectations for those that do gatekeep? Now, I know this part gonna be a hard question because you don't gatekeep, but
I know.
at
It's
all.
the power. A lot of people, when we are in position, let alone, but position, if not position, the power, people find that power. Knowledge is power. Having,
Mhm.
and again, I'm old school, having a Rolodex of, people and professionals that can help.
Yeah,
That's Some people feel like that's a power. And with that power, they determine whether or not they want to bless you. That's like a God complex.
yeah, yeah,
It's like very much a God complex, to a degree. Because it's
yeah,
like, who are you? And where would you be if you didn't either figure it out or get some type of help? So I mean, like you said, I've never been a gatekeeper, so it's really hard for me to answer. But
Hmm.
again, it's just I feel like it's the insecurity, like I said, and just that slight God complex.
Now, Joy says she was raised by don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I've heard that, but it wasn't something that was like pounded in my household or in our family.
Yeah.
I've heard it, but
Yes.
I always took it as if you're making a move or um, like if you got a business something really really important going on and you don't
Yeah.
know who to trust, then you watch who you give it to, but not so much as in that. I wouldn't see that as gatekeeping. Your thoughts?
Right. 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 I've heard that. Like my grandparents would say that, but it was more so about like the marriage.
Hmm.
Like like in other words, like I have my stash. I don't let my right hand know what I have my
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
That type of thing. So yeah, I've heard that. From my grandparents about like within their marriage.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not necessarily like just information and things like that. So yeah, Joey, I do know that saying very well.
Yeah. Now I want to flip it a little bit because we did touch on it for a second. She said,
Okay.
"Don't call me old."
I didn't.
Didn't. Somebody feeling guilty. Um, having people that will use you for the information, but then when you put a cost to it, they disappear or no longer want your services. What
Yeah.
is your
I always cared about what people said. Like as much as I would say I didn't care, I would always like low key, high key, would really kind of care. Like it would still resonate, right? So if it was information I didn't provide and then they took or provided and they took it and just kind of disappeared, um, I did my job.
yeah?
I did the little job that they needed. And if it was worth it to them, so be it. I just sometimes you can't control the narrative or control how people should respond and should, be to you. I wouldn't even think too much about it. I would just let it go. Like if you needed that bad and you felt like, you know, you could just get the information and use me up and then run and then
Mhm.
disappear, like you said, then farewell.
And see,
I, I
that's why I
just
would tell you. That's why I would tell you, call me so I can lay them out.
I just sometimes I care about so many things
Yeah,
often that it's like the things I can't control, I just really have to let it go.
I get that.
And it's a
I get that.
struggle, trust me, because sometimes I let it live rent free in my head, but then it's like, you know what? I got this to do, this to do. You have to move forward and pray for them. That's it. Like, I know it sounds so cliche, but really, like, pray for them and just like let it go.
And see, I feel like that's a cancer thing as well, because I used to get on Joy all the time because she's an information dump. If you want
She
it,
is.
she got it.
Yes.
And I was so proud of her to see her starting to put a cost on certain things. Like you get to call and you get to have certain questions, but it is not a you get to call every week. And
Yes.
one, you're taking away from her work, her actual work schedule. You're taking away from her business. You're taking away from family. You're taking away from other things, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not even paying for it. So I was proud of her when I first seen her put a cost on it, and it's still not a um, well, you can't get anything without the
Right.
cost. It's a boundary,
Yeah.
and I have like I don't mind. I don't mind pushing you in the right direction. I don't mind doing some of the research. But if I see that you're not doing anything on your own, I can't
Yeah.
help you. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I agree. People will burn you out. They will burn
Absolutely.
you out. And sometimes I sit and I have these like I talk to myself, right? So I'm like, do they realize what they're doing? Like, do they care even what they're doing? Like, and really it's like you're shaking it. No. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like I don't care.
Mhm.
And it's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Dad, you should value my time and our friendship enough to, not to have to call me every week with the
Yeah.
same question, like the same questions. That's what kills me. The same question. It's like,
Every week.
are we like
You
getting
ain't take
better with
no notes.
this?
Like you ain't take no notes last week.
No, none.
Yeah, yeah,
To the
yeah.
point, and then it like you said, it starts to waste time. It throws you off track. You have to then, adjust to their needs versus what you have going on. That's disrespectful. It's the audacity for me.
And it's an entitlement, which is going to take us
Yes,
to our
yes,
last part.
yes.
Entitlement. So we know we all probably seen, this the story with Glow and how her family feel like they're, entitled to
Mhm.
her finances.
Yes.
Um, do you think that is our cultural thing, or
No,
is it more so? Okay, go ahead.
it's not. It's not our culture thing. I've seen other cultures that will act a donkey if in fact they don't, get a new car every birthday because the entitlement of my parents have, so no, I don't think it's just our culture thing. No. Um, I feel like our culture, a bit of us should know better, if anything. It should be a little bit better in that category. But
Mhm.
yeah, I did see a bit of the Glow situation with her sister
Mhm.
and how her sister is feeling like she should have gotten money because of her sister's come up.
Mhm.
And it again, it's the audacity. It's
It
the
is.
like
I feel
it's
like when it comes to family, friends, people I love, and I always say I have a team. Like when I walk that red carpet, when it comes, right? I already have my team, and that
mm,
is the people that are either sending me audition stuff, or since I see it happening, or
yes,
that believes in what I want to do, even though it looks like it's so far off. That is who I'm taking. I
that's
will not and I don't owe them anything, but
right.
because they pushed, they believe, they've spoken, um, they've given me
Encourage.
platforms,
Yeah.
have segments. Um, I have my tribe. Now that does not mean that it excludes my family, but you are not entitled to what I had to work to get to, or the tears I had to cry, or anything, or even having to get rid of people, which is
Yes.
hard for me, and meeting new people, which is hard for me. Yet, no,
Yes.
no.
It
What is your?
is. It's hurtful even. In addition to it being hard and complicated, it's really hurtful.
It is.
I'm sure at some point, as much as Glorilla with regarding her and that entitlement of her sister, her family, it's hurtful. The like underline of it all, it hurts when your family feels as though they should be put on the payroll,
Hmm.
just because of being related.
Yeah.
It's hurtful, and it really, as much as you would want to provide and you want to share your the luxuries and the change, um it more money, more problems, I guess. Like,
It is, but I feel like you could
yeah,
literally, when your family gets to a certain place in life, no matter what, whether it's just their company, whatever, and
yeah,
they're doing better, and you've watched them or you've went through the mud with them, and you see them finally getting what they dreamed about or whatever the case may be, find a talent and get paid for it by working with them. Like
that's
you,
it.
like when I tell you, I have a security team already. I have a cook already. I
Ooh,
have a promote. Like I pay attention to what people
the
sow into
strength.
me, and I
Yeah,
watch what they do and what they're great at. I don't need to go hire anybody else
yeah,
because I have a tribe that is
yeah,
all the way across the board. I have the makeup artist. I have like find what you're great at and go make that a
yes.
job working for that family member, and you're gonna earn your keep.
But I'm gonna
Versus,
be honest with
go
you.
ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even that whole, like, once you become big, because you will be, or vice versa. Um, I don't want any of my family to expect a position with me,
Yeah.
because at some point I just I can't guarantee you anything. I want you to be
Mhm,
able to thrive and live,
mhm,
because of the talents and the things that you worked hard for.
yeah.
Because this is what I've worked hard for. And I was
Absolutely.
blessed, you know. Again, I'm just speaking um, for the future, but I don't want
Absolutely.
them to even expect a position with my company. It's not to
Yeah.
say that I'm going to change and not, you know, because I'm a gifter. I'm a really good
You
gifter.
are. I know.
And so I'm a gift regardless, but at the same time, don't sit and count on it.
Yeah.
Again, that's just, to me, that's just really a level of disrespect. I want you to
Yeah.
continue and thrive how you should thrive. So
Mm,
yeah.
it goes back to the audacity and just feeling like because it's somebody else's in there, but they're your family or loved one or parent that
Yeah.
you should. Absolutely not. I tell my older kids all the time, don't just because I'm mom doesn't mean I'm gonna always rescue you. Because if I
Yes.
always rescue you, when will you ever rescue yourself? And
Yes.
then if something happens to me and I'm the only person that's rescuing you, or your dad is the only person rescuing you, you're going to fall if something
Yes.
happens to that person because you don't have no clue on how to
I
make it because that's what you know, rescuing.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-mm.
that's what I taught my sons. I have four sons.
Yeah,
And I've always taught my sons how to not, you know, depend on me or their other parent, but always tell them to depend on yourself and
hmm
how to, you know, live without, you know, knowing that we're there to help or to call, or even to rely on a partner,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I,
yeah, because that could change too.
that can change too, to instill
Yeah,
quality, to instill real life situations, so that they can thrive and be the best independent person they can be, versus it
absolutely.
being just, you know, they have to have a second partner or, you know, just somebody. No,
Mhm.
I taught them how to live without me, not to live with me, but to live without
And
me.
that
That's the
and,
Bible.
and that is it because we don't. I know in my household, my mom taught what she knew, right? I wish we would have. I don't regret it because I'm able to do it now. But I
Yeah.
wish we had the upbringing of what do I do if something wasn't happening to my. I'm still the key. I'm still a full grown 46-year-old woman that when I get sick, I'm calling my mama so she can call Jesus on the main line because I just feel like she's
Oh,
sit beside him a little closer than I do, right?
yes, yes, yes.
But one of my other kids, we always laugh and stuff because they're sending memes like, "What happens if your mom go?" And they're like, "Well, I guess we got to go too." If you have to go because I go, that means I didn't do my job.
That's right. That's right.
You
You're right.
can't. You have to be able to survive without me.
Yes.
Because one day
Yes.
you will have to.
Yes, you will have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we coming to our time. This is an easy
Yes,
one, right?
yes, it was. But you know, we talk like this often, you know.
Right. It works. It works. It
Mhm.
works. I love it. But before we leave, what would you like to close us out with about anything you got upcoming?
Okay.
Remind the people where they can tune in, all that good stuff.
So, first, I of course had two segments of, or podcasts and a segment with Swagger, but my podcast is Culture Club with a K, Conversations. It's myself and my two cousins. We took our day-to-day conversation that we have on a regular day of, you know, sharing, not gatekeeping, all that good stuff, and we just brought it to social media to share, to have great people on like yourself,
Right.
um, and just to have great conversations, because that's what we need. We need to reinstill conversations into our way of communicating. A lot of people just, they shut down. They don't want to talk, and then that's how things just, you know, stretch out, and attitudes. People don't even remember why you're mad anymore.
Yeah.
So tune into Culture Club Conversations. We're on YouTube and all social media platforms. I'm also with Swag Her, Sisterhood Spotlight, where I not just recognize, because in order to celebrate, you have to recognize. You have to recognize and celebrate women, their business brand, and talents or testimonies. Um, and of course, Swagger is having the upcoming event, Black Woman Made Whole. That's on February the 21st. Make sure that's from 12 until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you get with Eventbrite to get your ticket, to be a part of that. And I will be actually a featured speaker for that event.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I love
So
it.
yes, and I actually have some local events coming in March and July of this year that I will be also speaking about sisterhood as well. So I'm gonna just be busy, pouring into others, celebrating sisters, and doing everything that I need to do while I'm here. So
I love it. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Well, it's always a blessing being able to grace the screen beside you anytime, between time. I absolutely love you.
Love
You have
that.
been an absolute blessing to even come across, to meet. And then I found out the other couple weeks ago, we share a best friend. She was your best friend at elementary school.
Yes.
And we've been best friends for 30 years and did not
Paracon.
know. And she absolutely, absolutely loves you.
I love
Um, she said you would say
it. I
that.
do.
Um, so again, it's always a pleasure, and thank you for not only just being my friend and my sister, but also not gatekeeping any opportunity that comes across your desk, your ears. You think about me first, and I absolutely appreciate that. And yeah, I love you. I love you in real
I love
life, every day,
that
all day,
in
all
real
day.
life.
Oh,
Hmm.
in real life, that is the word. Okay, guys, I love you. The world loves you. I hope you love yourself. Be kind, be blessed, and wherever you are in life, know that it is okay. Till next time, see you next Thursday.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.